Hey everyone, it's Fitz from the home office with another daily delivery. Hope you're enjoying these. I'm having fun here at the home office providing them for you. We're trying to keep them brief and quick to the point, and let's get to it. Chris Kleiman released Kansas State's depth chart and roster on Monday. We'll get into some of the things that jumped out at me on the roster, on the depth chart in a minute, but the roster, well, we might have found out the names of the three guys that Chris Kleiman alluded to being opt-outs along with Jonathan Alexander. He chose earlier during this fall camp not to mention who they are. We had three names we were given by a source. We weren't quite confident in them, so we held back. Good for us. Only two of the three were correct, and that's all it takes for you doubters. But Joe Irvin was one of those names we were given, and we were very cautious about it. We kept asking about him in press conferences and getting answers, but Joe Irvin is not on the roster. The freshman running back had some carries last year, looked promising, possibly a starter. Did he opt out? We'll ask Chris Kleiman during his Tuesday teleconference. Also missing from this list are Matthew Polamalu, a defensive tackle. We had heard he too was out, and we also heard he came in way overweight after not having spring football, and maybe that's a reason why he opted out. The third name was running back Thomas Grayson, who maybe was moving to another position. It'd been interesting to see if these guys actually return or their opt-outs or possible transfers. Again, we will ask Chris Kleiman about it. Now let's get to the depth chart. There really weren't any huge surprises on the depth chart. I mean, defensively, it pretty much could be predicted what was going to go on there. Maybe some guys were a little bit shocking in their position. I thought Khalid Duke would be a starter at defensive end, but Bronson Boom Massey, the senior, is healthy and apparently is going to get that starting nod. I think Duke is still going to have a big season. But the three surprises for me were on the offensive side of the ball, and let's start with the offensive line, where I really thought that Cooper Beebe would want to be one of the starters. He might well start on Saturday at right tackle if Christian Duffy is not available to go, as we've kind of heard. Cooper Beebe's listed as his backup right now. Also, Dawson Del Ford, from Wamego, came in from the junior college ranks. They raved about him, and he is not starting. In fact, he's listed behind Josh Rivas, one of the in-cement type of players on this lineup at left guard, so we'll see if he can crack the lineup. The other surprises for me probably play into the Joe Irvin news. It's the fact that Deuce Vaughn was openly admitted to being the backup running back along with Tyler Burns. That's big news. Vaughn's going to play a lot, especially since the season doesn't count. He can play running back, he'll split wide. They're going to use the little guy in as many sets as possible. And the third spot that caught my attention was Skylar Thompson's backups. Will Howard, the true freshman, is sharing it with Nick Ost. That will be interesting.